normally when you sign with a gallery, you have a contract, right? Do you have any
Um,
experience with that? Or
the only time there's an actual signed contract at the very beginning is
Mhm,
if it's an exclusive agreement. Like
mhm,
if you sign on exclusively with one gallery and that's the only gallery you can sell with, or if they want an exclusive agreement to a particular radius around the city.
right,
So, but most of the galleries I'm dealing with these days, it's all consignment agreement. So when
okay.
you drop something off, they give you a consignment agreement. The terms are on there.
Mhm,
Um, but the gallery up in Fredericksburg, there was I'm trying to remember, there was a time when they had, where they were kind of saying, don't be in any, I think and it's also kind of an unspoken rule. Don't be in another gallery in the same city, or at least in the same like 200-mile radius.
right.
So, but I show my Western work with them, and then there's another little small boutique gallery here in San Antonio that I have a couple of my like older pretty lady paintings in there.
Mhm,
So it's completely different types of work, and
right.
I don't put any Western work here in town, so it's not a conflict of interest. But
Mhm,
but typically, if you're signing a contract with a gallery, it's typically, and it should be terms that are agreeable for both parties. Like they need to promise you X amount of, obviously they tell you up front what your percentage is, and then they need to tell the artist, they need to tell you, the artist, what they're going to do for you for that percentage. You know,
mhm,
I mean, if it's just sitting on the wall and but are they going to run an ad for you? Are they going to promote you actively?
right.
Are they going to call their collectors and say, "Hey, I've got this, new artist"? Those are the things that the good galleries will do.
Mhm,
Not all of them do that. So, and a lot of times you can iron that out in a contract. But lately, my experience has been, it's just kind of a email thing, and it's back and forth. This is what we pay. This is how we pay and when we pay it. And then it's consignment agreements only. So,
interesting.
but always, read everything through. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't think you're coming off dumb,
Mhm,
because some of these galleries are actual crooks, and they will prey on. There's not as many around anymore, I don't think, because I think a lot of them got washed out by COVID and social media. Actually, um, you know, there are actual Facebook forums where
mhm,
people, they're private forums where they'll talk about galleries, and other artists will ask questions about certain galleries, or it'll just go viral. It'll be like this, an artist who's owed money, and they'll put it out there, say this guy screwed me, and
mhm.
you know, and
Yeah, it's hard to hide.
let the public be your judge,
Exactly.
So
Yeah. I love that about, today's social media culture. I feel like in a way it's also united a lot of artists in, the transparency of how
most
things should
definitely.
be run.